I think the students are coming in slowly.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. So can we start?
Yeah, yeah, you can start now, please,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
So I'll leave the stage to you, Dr. Arjun.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, sir. Yeah. So is my screen visible?
Yeah, yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Okay. So is my
Okay.
screen visible now, sir?
Yeah,
Yes.
I can hear you, but your background is a bit noisy. Are you in the workshop?
No, I think they're doing some fumigation. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think.
Fumigation, eh? Okay.
Yeah. I think now they have gone somewhere
Okay.
else. Yeah.
Please carry on.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So yeah. Good morning, all. Nice to meet you all after 2-3 weeks, I think. Nice to meet you all. So welcome back for the third lecture of this lecture series on technopreneurship. So today we will learn more about Startup 101. So everything you need to know to build your startup. So in today's session, I will give you some high level overview of some important terms and terminologies that you should know if you want to start up your own venture, or even if you are interested in knowing about entrepreneurship business. I think knowing these key terms and terminologies and the importance of those terms and terminologies are kind of very important. So just a very small recap of what we have learned before, since it's some time now since we all met. So I just wanted to give you a very small recap. So we started off with design thinking, and then we learned about lean startup method, and then we learned about business model canvas. So the very first thing, whatever you are trying to do, whether you are going to do a startup or whether you go to a company to work, the very first thing that you will do or the company will do is to identify what products to even build. So in order to identify what products to build, they need to understand who their customers are and what problems their customers are facing. So if they understand who their customers are and what problems they are facing, then it will be helpful to them to define the product well. So in order to understand the customer's problem, the very first approach that most of the companies use is design thinking. So this framework is kind of widely used framework in the industry today. Most of the businesses, most of the startups use this use this design thinking framework. So using this design thinking framework, you will empathize with your customer, you will sit together with your customer, identify what problems they are facing, then you will define their problems, then you will ideate for solutions, you will prototype your solutions, you will test it with them, and you will validate it with them, and it's an iterative process. And once you complete it, you will clearly know what to even build. So it's kind of think of it as a starting point of your product development journey. And then we learned about lean startup method. So lean startup method, in the lean startup method, we learned that building a startup, building a business is highly uncertain. So we need some way to systematically address these uncertainties. So in the lean startup method, we saw a framework which is called as build, measure, learn. So you will build, you will measure, you will learn till you achieve a minimum viable product, till you achieve product market fit. So combining the design thinking and combining the lean startup method, you will by the end of, if you do these exercises hands on, by the end of these two exercises, you will have a minimum viable product in your hand, and you would have achieved product market fit. And then you need to think about how you can convert this as a business. You have a minimum viable product, but that is not enough to start a business, right? There are many things you need to consider, because you just have identified a problem, you just have come up with a prototype, and you have validated that the prototype will solve the problem of your user. Now you need to think about business, how you can convert this into a business. So this is where we saw the business model canvas framework. which has 9 buckets, basically value proposition, customer segments, channels, customer relationships, key activities, key partners, key resources, cost structure, revenue streams. And then when I was presenting this, Prof T came up with a very interesting question. He told, where will competitors come into this bucket? So then I told that, okay, instead of this 9 buckets, we should have 10 buckets in the business model canvas. We should have 1 bucket dedicated for competitor analysis as well. So if you do this exercise, if you jot down all of your hypothesis assumptions in a business model canvas, by the end of that exercise, you will know what you should do in order to build a business out of your project. So having learned all of this, I hope you found some time to do some hands-on activities based on all these sessions that we have done. If you have done all of this, then you will be at this point where you should learn some more things about building a business out of it. So that's what we are going to see today. Startup 101, everything you need to know to build your startup. So yes, in the business world, in the startup world, there are many things to understand. There are many things to learn. Just having a product that is technically competitive enough is not enough to succeed in the business world. So there are many things that you need to know. So that's what we will see today. So the very first thing that we will we need to understand is market size. So basically, market size is the overall total measure of the revenue opportunity of the product that you are trying to build. So if you are building, let's say, for example, you are building a wireless mouse, how many people will buy this wireless mouse globally? That is called as the total addressable or total available market. What is the global potential? Yes, sir.
Dr. Arjun, can I
Yeah.
interrupt? Your
Yes.
screen got a square black zone. Can you
Unshare.
getting it smaller? I don't know what is that. It's blocking the view. Can you stop
Okay.
it?
Okay.
Did you see it? Yeah,
I'm
something
not sure.
blocked.
Okay, maybe I will join from my browser because I'm using the Teams app. So maybe I think there is some problem. So maybe I will leave and join from the browser and let's
Okay.
try it again.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
It seems to be a black spot there.
Yeah. Okay, sir. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, Nurul Karida. Hi, Nurul Karida. I can see your camera. Hello, Karida. You are in a car or in somewhere? Nurul Karida binti Muhammad Yusuf. Can you see me? Nurul, your screen is, your camera is open. Nurul? Nurul?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me
Okay.
share again.
Yeah, please share, please share.
So is it now looking good?
Yeah, better. Yeah, please.
Better, doctor.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
So
got a better view. Yeah, please. Carry on.
okay, sir. Okay. So yeah, sorry for the interruption. So let's come back to our old example. So if you are trying to build a wireless mouse, the global number of people who will be interested by your wireless mouse, that is called as the total available market or the total addressable market. So that kinds of denotes the total revenue potential that is available for you to capture with your product. But again, as a startup or as a business, you are not the only player in this market. right? So if you come up with a wireless mouse, there are a lot of other companies who also have their own products. For example, Microsoft, Lenovo, like all these Logitech, all these other players are also having products. So you are competing with many different players as well. So when you are competing with many players, you will not be able to capture the total global market unless you are the only one in the entire world to come up with this product. So a good example for here is when Tesla came up with the electric vehicle, when Tesla came up with the electric car, it was kind of the only company who was building an electric car at that moment. So the market size was so big, they were having some good profit, good business. But then after seeing the success of Tesla, there are a lot of other companies came up with similar products. Started off with China. So China had lot of these companies developing their own electric vehicles. Then we saw all the conventional automobile companies starting to develop their own electric vehicles. So now Tesla is facing an intense competition. Their market size is now getting reduced. Their profit margins are getting reduced. So this is what will happen for you when you develop a product. Okay, there is a global market, but how much percent of the market that you can really capture with the resources you have, which areas you could really serve. So this is called as the serviceable available market. So for example, if you decide that, okay, with my resources, I can only serve the Southeast Asia market, then that is called as the serviceable available market. So, so if the total available market is, let's say, for example, $15 billion opportunity, you kind of come up with a number that globally, if I sell this mouse to every people in this world, I will get maybe $15 billion, something like that. And then when you come down to the serviceable available market, if you sell this to every people in the Southeast Asia, then maybe you can capture $5 billion from the $15 billion global market. But of course, again, as a small company, you don't have the resources to serve the entire Southeast Asian region. So then you select a target market. So maybe you will start with Malaysia first, or maybe Malaysia plus Singapore first, and then if you further boil down the volume potential, the revenue potential of this target market will be even lesser than the 5 billion. So if you just count, okay, how many people are there in Malaysia who will be interested to buy this mouse, then you come up with a market size of, okay, 1 billion, something like that. So the market, why are we even looking at this? We are looking at this because, see, whenever you are developing a product, the market that you are developing a product for should be big enough. If the market is very, very small, then you will not have enough revenue potential to sustainably run your business. You will eventually run into losses, and then eventually you will close down your business. So that is why when you are developing any product, the very first thing that anyone will ask you is, what is the market size you are looking at? What is your total available market? What is your serviceable available market? What is your target market? So this is very, very important. Every business, when they are thinking of developing a new product, they will do this market sizing exercise to understand their revenue potential, and based on it, they will allocate resources. If they find out that the total market, the total global market itself is just $1 million, that's all. Even if we sell this entire product, even if we sell this product to the entire global network, we will just achieve $1 million revenue, then it is not a good business case. So that is very important. But how can you find out this number? How can you find out, okay, what is the market size of the market that I am targeting? So there are two different techniques that you can use to size the market. One is called as top-down approach, and another one is called as bottom-up approach. Um, let's see in detail what these approaches mean, how to use these approaches. So basically, top-down approach, it's very, very simple. You don't do anything. You directly go to the internet. In the internet, you can find a lot of market research companies like Forrester, Gartner, Statista. They would have done all the market research for you. You purchase their report. Usually these reports are very, very expensive as well. Each report may cost $3,000, 5,000 US dollars, something like that. So it's a bit expensive because they speak with thousands of people, they go through thousands of financial reports of many companies, they go through thousands of data available in the internet. So they do very manual intensive hard work to come up with a market research report. And then in that report, they would simply mention, okay, this is the market size of this product line. This is a $10 billion market. The market is growing at this much percentage rate. Again, whenever you are developing a product, you should develop a product for a market that is growing. If you are developing a product for a market that is declining, then your revenue potential will also decline, right? Every business wants to increase their revenue potential. No business will think of decreasing their revenue potential. So so the market research companies will give you this number. This is the global market. This is the market according to different regions. They would give the split up to you. So it's very easy. You just buy the report. All you need to do is buy the report. All you need to have is money to buy the report. But usually the pitfall of just blindly looking at a report and understanding whether a market is good or not is 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 information fallacy. So basically, if you see the report from Forrester, they would say the market is $10 billion. If you see the report from Gartner, they would say the market is $7 billion. If you see the report from Statista, maybe they will say the market is $8 billion. So there isn't a proper number that you can base your assumption on. So every report will have their own methods to do this market research, and every report will come up with their own every report will also come up with their own numbers as well. So basically it will be very much difficult for you to clearly find a single number out of it. So for example, this is a very simple example, like a sales customer relationship management software for gym operators in Singapore. So basically they will come up with something like, okay, the total gym market in Singapore is $288 million. The companies are spending 6.97% on IT, which is a $20 million. So in that, only 9% is spent for software, which is $1.8 billion. And which is within the software, the CRM represents on percentage, leaving $126,000, something like that. So they will give this split up to you. So if you just target this market, $126,000 is a very, very small money. Even if you capture the whole of the market, the maximum revenue you can earn is just $126,000, which is a very, very small market. Usually people don't develop products for such a very small market. So the other approach is bottom up. So bottom up is basically you do your research, you do the market sizing exercise. So when you are doing this bottom up research, basically you will identify how many customers you can reach with the resources you have, and what is the price each customer is willing to pay. So for example, again, taking the wireless mouse example. So if you come up with based on your research, you identify, okay, there are 1,000 customers who are interested to buy my product. My one wireless mouse is $10. Then basically your market size is $10,000. So it's very simple. So let's see a small example how we do the bottom up market sizing. So this is for a fictional tomato delivery startup company. So the price of one tomato, $1. So based on your validation, your research with different households, you come up with the conclusion that, okay, every household buys at least 3 tomatoes per week. It's not a definite number. Few houses will buy 10 tomatoes a week. Few houses will buy 1 kilogram of tomatoes a week. But on an average, based on the research you have done, you have identified, okay, every household buys 3 tomatoes a week. So which means per year, you can sell $150 worth of tomatoes to every house. And then you identify, okay, based on the capacity I have, based on the resources I have, I can cover 35,000 households in your city, which means on a year you can get a revenue of $5.3 million. So that is your target market. And then if you expand this to 30 cities, then probably you can reach 1 million houses, with which you can reach revenue potential of $156 million. That would be the serviceable, addressable or available market. So this is how you do the top down and bottom up. And why this is very important is it will basically give you an idea of whether you need to continue investing your money, efforts, energy, time into the product that you are looking to build or not. After doing this market sizing exercise, if you find out that the market size is very, very small, then basically you should drop your idea. You should do something else. So it kind of helps you with helps you to succeed with your startup. Okay, market sizing. Then the second important concept that you should know is go to market. So go to market is basically a strategy. Basically, how do you go to market? How do you go to market? You have a product. You have done a market sizing exercise. You have a product, but how do you go to the market, right? So you need to have some tactics, strategy to go to the market, right? So how will you put a product into the market to reach market penetration, revenue, and profitability? Which market you will compete with? Why do you think you can compete well in that market? If you are developing a wireless mouse, there are 1,000 companies developing wireless mouses. So why do you think you can outcompete all of them? What is the unique technology you have? What is the value proposition you have? So please link our previous learnings of the business model canvas here. Customer segments. The market simply means the customer segments. Which customer segments you will target? Why do you think those customer segments will buy from you? So you need to have a value proposition here. And then customer channels, customer relationships. How will you acquire these customers? What are all the ways you will use to acquire these customers? How much money you will spend in acquiring these customers? And then what is the customer acquisition economics? So imagine you spend $100 in doing a Facebook advertisement. So you would have all seen advertisements in Facebook, Instagram, Google, in all of the web pages, right? So imagine you spend $100 to run an advertisement campaign in Facebook. So at the end of the campaign, only one person bought your wireless mouse. You spent $100, just one person got your wireless mouse for $10, which means your customer acquisition cost is $100 for one person, right? If two people bought your wireless mouse, then your customer acquisition cost is $50. But since just one person bought your wireless mouse, you are spending $100 to sell your product to a customer, where your product selling price is itself just $10. So is it a profitable business? It's not a profitable business. It's a loss-making business, right? Your customer acquisition cost is so much. It's $100, which means either you don't have a proper product to reach the mass market, or your product is not very competitive enough, or probably your customer segments that you are targeting is not aligned with your product requirements. So there are many things that you can infer from the customer acquisition economics. So go-to-market strategy is very, very important as well. And then speaking about the customer acquisition metrics, so customer acquisition cost is one of the most important metric, basically. So it is given by the total sales expenses per month, by number of new customers per month. But of course, there are a lot of other metrics that you can also use to track your business, like customer lifetime value. What is your monthly revenue? What is your monthly recurring revenue, annual recurring revenue? What is your month-on-month growth? What is your year-on-year growth? What is your churn rate? What is your burn rate? What is your conversion rate? What is your sales cycle? So why are these metrics even important? Because see, if you are not able to track anything, you will not understand how it is performing, right? So on a simple analogy, why do we even have a grade point average system? Why the university is tracking our education using a grade point average system? So basically, there needs to be some sort of a tracking mechanism to understand whether the student is studying well or not, right? So we have this GPA as a tracking metric, right? Similarly, for a business, you have multiple metrics basically that you can use to track whether the business is running quite well or not. And how do companies, what do companies do if the business is not doing well? So the very first thing they will do is they will understand, okay, where are we spending so much money? How can we reduce the cost? And this is why a lot of companies are laying off today, right? So they look at all these metrics, they understand, okay, our yearly recurring revenue is less, our churn rate is more. Churn rate means customers stopping to buy products from the company. So this is called as churn rate. How many customers have stopped buying the products in a repeated way? And then there is burn rate, how much money your company is spending every month. So if you make a financial modeling, if you take a Excel sheet, if you put all of the cash in, how much money is coming into your company, how much money is going out of your company, you will know what your burn rate is. So the companies will look at these metrics on a month-on-month basis, year-on-year basis, and then they will take some action to kind of keep the company on track. And then we have one more important metric called as traction. So basically, when you are building a startup, when you are building a startup, traction is the first success you will get. Basically, what is the first success you are getting? That is the traction. It is also applicable for bigger businesses as well when they are introducing a new product. So when bigger businesses introduce a new product, what is the traction they are getting? When you are introducing a new product using your startup, what is the traction you are getting? So traction is basically the initial progress, initial success you basically get. And then we can define traction from many different perspectives actually, because see, as I said before, in a business, it's not as simple as like Ohm's law. So you would have all studied Ohm's law, V equal to IR. So you all know, okay, what Ohm's law is, right? You all know, okay, if I put a resistor here, I can control the current. So it's very straightforward, but in a business, things are not very straightforward, because market is always changing, the situations are always changing globally, geopolitical tensions are kind of evolving. So there is always some uncertainty in the market. So this is why you need to look at a business from different perspectives. There is not a single perspective that you can use to look a business at. If you are just looking a business from the product's technical specification perspective, you will think that, okay, my product is having the most competitive specifications in the world. Technically, my product is very good, very efficient, quality wise, reliability wise, my product is very good, but it is not enough to succeed in business. So that is why you need to, when you are running your own business, you need to think of traction from many different perspectives. And these are some of the perspectives that I'm going to share. The very first important perspective for any business is customer. So customer is the king actually. You are not the king of your business. Even though you are the CEO of your business, you are not the king of your business. The customer is the boss of you. The customer is the boss of your business. So customer traction is very, very important to run a company. If you don't have any customer traction, basically there is no point of running a business, right? So when you are starting up a company, you have a prototype, you have a minimum viable product with you. What can you do with this? You go and speak with potential customers. They are saying that, okay, I'm interested. Maybe once you fully build the product, come back to me, I will try to use it. So if some customer is saying like that, it really means they are not interested actually in your product. So that is a very, very weak form of traction basically. If someone is saying that, okay, come to me after building this product, then it means either they already have some solutions with them at this moment, or they think you are too small to speak with, or they think you don't have the credibility to build such a product. The second level of traction is letter of intents, which is called as LOIs. The third level of traction is pilots, unpaid. Fourth level is paid pilots. Fifth level is paid contracts. So these are all some stronger tractions that you can achieve, and you should aim to achieve such tractions. If you go and speak with the customer, and if the customer is interested in your product that you are building, and this all comes from the previous design thinking, business model canvas, lean startup. If we would have done all of this well, by the end of those exercises, you will have something that the customer is really interested, and then they will give you a customer order. Basically, they will either give you a letter of intent stating that they are interested to buy this product, or maybe they will give you an unpaid pilot agreement, or even good, they will give you a paid pilot agreement if they are so much confident of you to build this product, or maybe they will even issue a purchase order or a paid contract as well. So these are some of the stronger tractions that you should aim for when you are building a business. So what is B2B here? B2B is business to business. See, again, if you are running a startup, you can sell your products to a business, or you can sell your products to customers like normal people, right? So that is called as B2B and B2C. So a good example here is if you just create a wireless mouse and you sell it to 100 of people like me, it is called as a B2C because you are directly selling to people. But similarly, if you are selling the same wireless mouse to a company who has 100 employees, and the company gets 100 mouses from you through a purchase order, then you are selling it to a business. So that is called as B2B. So there are some small differences. These are some two different business models, but there are some small differences between running a company using a B2B business model and a B2C business model. Because when you are targeting a B2C market, basically you need to speak with thousands of people to understand whether what you are building is good enough or not. And that is sometimes very time consuming, very difficult to do. But on the same time, if you are developing a B2B product, if your business model is business to business, it's easy to speak with 5 businesses, understand their requirements, build a product and sell it to them, and they can distribute it among their employees, or they can distribute it to more customers that they have access to. So for B2B, we saw, okay, if the company is giving you some pilot agreements, paid contracts, it's very it's a very important validation for your idea. Similarly, for B2C, if your user base is very much exploding, if your user base is increasing, so this is what we called as some super app, killer app, right? So when Instagram came, like we all have used Facebook, Instagram, and all these applications, right? So when Instagram came, Instagram probably didn't market their product, right? People started to use it, and people started to recommend, okay, my friend is there in Instagram, okay, I should also join Instagram. So it was organically growing, right? It was organically growing. Instagram didn't spend a lot of money in marketing, right? So this is a successful product, how a successful product looks like. So similarly, if you are coming up with an application, if you are coming up with even a hardware device, if you spend a lot of money to market this product, then basically it is a weaker customer traction. But your product is so good enough that people are organically buying it, even without you spending money to acquire customers. People are referring your products through word of mouth. You are telling your friend, okay, I'm using this wireless mouse, it is very good, and then your friend buys it, and then he recommends to his friends, and then the another friend buys it, and then the cycle goes on. If it is going like that, then basically the product you are building is very good. You achieved some good traction. And then the product itself, when you are starting off to build a product, basically everyone will think that you can complete it, right? but over that journey you will understand, okay, there are a lot of difficulties, there are a lot of challenges, lot of hurdles to pass through. So if you just think that you can build a great product but you don't have any idea of how to do it, then very weak traction. But at the same time you have some prototype, you have validated it with customers say they are interested, okay, it's a kind of a okay traction. But when you have a fully functional product, customers are using it, it is solving the customers needs and requirements, then it's a very good traction to achieve. And then market. So as I said before, the market is always uncertain. There are many players out there in the market, right? So consider the business market as a as a river that is having lots of crocodiles, right? So when you jump into the river, you need to fight with each crocodile, right? If you want to come out successfully. So that's how the business world is. That's how the business environment is, right? There are a lot of crocodiles. We call them as incumbents, basically. So incumbents mean these are the companies existing today in the world, today in the market, serving the same customers that we are looking to serve with our products. These incumbents have similar products that we are looking to develop. So if the market is very slow and if the market is not growing, then it's a very weak market. But basically, if you have done a bottom-up analysis and you have found out that the market is very big, it is growing, and then there are a lot of these bigger companies out there in the same market, and they are also growing year on year, then it means it's a big market. So, for example, I can give you NVIDIA. So NVIDIA came up with recently came up with their own GPU chips, right? Processing unit chips that are used in many of the artificial intelligence, machine learning applications, data centers. So I saw an article where the CEO of NVIDIA was kind of saying each one of that chip, it is so big, it's a big chip. Each one of that chip can cost $10,000. $10,000. One chip itself is costing $10,000. And if you go and just type NVIDIA stock price, and if you see for the last 2 years, how much NVIDIA has grown, it has exploded really. The market for the artificial intelligence, data centers, machine learning, it has exploded uh, in a huge volume. I was even trying to calculate, okay, what if I bought 10 NVIDIA stocks 2 years before? How much I would have spent and how much money I would have today if I would have sold those 10 stocks. So you can see it was really phenomenal. It was I think 10 times or 50 times uh, growth growth in those stocks. So these are the markets that you should be targeting. Similarly, electric vehicles, the market is growing. So there are some markets which also fall. I'm not able to clearly say you markets which are declining. Every market will have some growth potential, because see, when the world grows, when the population grows, more and more people need more and more products. Old products get obsoleted, new products come into the market. So every market will have some growth potential. Maybe few markets decline. So for example, very good, very old example that I could say is uh, floppy disk, CD drives, DVDs. No one is using them these days, right? What is the CD market? So back before 10 years, what was the CD market? The CD market would show a good growth potential. And then DVDs came. Then the CD market started to decline a little bit. Then the DVDs showed good potential, because in a CD you can store only 700 MB of data, whereas in a DVD I think you can store 2 GB, 3 GB of data. Then I think they came up with new DVDs capable of storing 10 GB of data, something like that. And then there were this rewritable CDs, rewritable DVDs coming into the market. So the DVD market was growing. And then companies came up with the memory card. The companies came up with the USB disk. USB drive. Then companies came up with portable hard drives, right? Then where is the CD market, DVD market today? It has declined a lot, right? So if you now come with the idea that okay, I am going to now create a CD which will store 1 terabytes of data, but the CD will still be this big, whereas the competitors are coming up with a small memory card of this much size which can store 1 TB of data, then you will clearly lose out to that market, right? You can't compete with those companies coming up with memory cards and USB drives. So the CD market is definitely declining. So this is why understanding your market is very important, and whatever you are trying to build, you need to build for markets that are growing. And in order to do that, you need to understand the trend, you need to be in the trend, you need to learn a lot, you need to speak with a lot of people, you need to attend a lot of trade shows, technology shows, all of these things, right? Without having that real world exposure, without having that outside world exposure, it will be very difficult for you to understand which markets are big enough, which markets are growing. Okay, then competition. So basically, why Nvidia had a very explosive growth? Because they were kind of coming to the market first with some competitive advantages. Of course, there was AMD, another company trying to compete with them, but Nvidia had some real competitive advantage, right? Probably their architecture for developing a chip was very strong. Maybe they developed the chip at a low cost. So there they had some defensibility. They had some unique advantages. So similarly for your company, you should also have some advantages. What are your advantages? If you don't have any advantage, then the day you will launch a product, the next day you will find a lot of competitors competing with you. You will find a lot of similar products in the market. So this is why you need some mechanism to defend your company, your product from competitors. Why is Apple okay? Why do we just have one Apple iOS phone, whereas 1001 Android smartphones today in the world? There are 1001 companies developing Android smartphones, but there is only one company called as Apple developing the iOS based smartphone, right? Because Apple owns the iOS and it's not freely available for anyone to use. So that is their way to defend their brand. So, okay, unless you buy this product from me, you are not going to get the capabilities of iOS. You're not going to get the capabilities of the Apple hardware, right? But if you take Android, for example, even though Google owns the Android platform, they release it for many companies to use it, right? So that's why you can find Samsung Android smartphones, Xiaomi Android smartphones, Oppo Android smartphones, Nokia, Sony. A lot of these companies have their own Android smartphones, and now the battle is very big. You're competing with many companies. But if you see Apple, okay, even though Apple is competing with Samsung, all these other players, but it has a clear brand, it has a clear positioning, right? I'm not going to give my iOS to all the companies out there. I'm going to lock it. I'm going to use it only for my own products. So similarly for your product, you should think about how you can defend your product. And then of course team is very important. So you are all doing your IDP EDP projects together as a team, and each team member will have some skill sets, each team member will have some unique experiences, right? So as a company, it is if you are building a company with the same team, it is your responsibility to nurture the skill sets of your team members and understand what sort of unique skill sets and experiences they have, and kind of think how you can capitalize those unique skill sets and experiences to the benefit of the product you are developing, or the business you are building. So each team, you should have a strong team members. Culturally, there should be a fit. Uh, Personally, there should be a fit. Technical skills wise, there should be a fit, right? So if you are working in a team that fights every day, like you fight with your team member, you say, okay, what I am doing, that is the right one, what you are doing is wrong, then he fights with you, argues with you, you always get into this confrontational mode, then probably it's not a good team to build a world-class company or a world-class product, right? So your team is very, very important. And of course, team is not only limited to the members you are working with. It is a little bit beyond that as well. So you may have some advisors, you may have some mentors with you. So what are all the qualifications profile of those advisors, those mentors? How can they help you in completing this product? How can they help you in in in, raising some funds for your company? So all of these are very, very important as well. So this is all traction we saw. So market size, go to market, traction. So we saw many different things. Then financial modeling. So financial modeling is basically the cash in, cash out of your company. So basically, it's a simple exercise, but at the same time, it's a little bit complex as well. Simple exercise in the sense that if you have Microsoft Excel, if you have Google Sheets, you can open up and you can start doing it. Complex in the sense that you need to think about a lot of different assumptions, and this is where the business model canvas. If you would have done the business model canvas, basically it would help you to clearly understand how much money you are going to spend for different activities. What are your key activities? What are your key resources? What are your key partners? What is your cost structure? So if you have done this, you will be able to create a financial model for your company. You will be able to create a cash flow statement for your company. So basically, it starts with, okay, how many team members I need to build this company? What are all the administrative cost? What is the product development cost? So if you jot down all of it, you'll understand the burn rate of the company per month. Okay, for 1 month I need $1,000. And then what is the product development timeline? Okay, I need 6 months to develop this product. Okay, then you need $6,000. When can I start to get revenue? Okay, I will start to get revenue only from the first year onwards. Okay, so then you need to survive for the 12 months, $12,000. And then after 12 months, in the first month, okay, how much revenue you can get? Okay, I can get $500 of revenue. Okay, then you are still in short of $500, right? Because every month you will spend $1,000 to develop a product, but only you will be able to only get $500 as input. So then $12,500. So this is how you build a cash flow statement. So if you build a cash flow statement, you will understand, okay, if I want to run my company for 2 years, how much manpower I need, how much money I need in my bank today, when will I start to get revenue, and will this revenue be able to meet all the expenses? When can I achieve my break-even point? So it will kind of help you to answer all of these questions. And finally, if you feel that, okay, I can achieve break-even at 1.5 years or at 2 years, but in order to do that, I need $50,000 in my account. Then basically, where can you get this $50,000? So there are a couple of ways you can get this $50,000. We will see that in the upcoming slides. So again, coming back to revenue and cost. So there are many costs that you will incur when you are running the startup. So they are termed as fixed cost, variable cost, one-off cost. So fixed cost are costs that do not change much. So if you are renting an office space, every month you will pay $500, something like that. For every month you will pay your team this much of salary. So it is mostly fixed. Variable depends on the situation, it will change. So if this month you are producing 500 products, then you will incur some cost. The next month, if you produce 1,000 products, then it will incur a higher cost, right? So these are the variable costs. Then finally, one-off costs are like the company setup, legal costs, and things like that. So you need to consider all of these three different types of cost when you are if your financial model needs to be accurate enough. Otherwise, you will always have bad surprises, right? if you don't really consider the variable cost or one-off cost, legal cost, then after you have completed the financial modeling, you will understand, okay, I need $50,000. Let me go to the investor and ask $50,000. The investor is giving you $50,000. Then the next month you find out, okay, I need one legal person to file all my account returns, income tax returns. So what is the cost? Oh, I need $10,000 to pay him. Then where will this $10,000 come? You can't again go to the investor and say, okay, I missed out one calculation in the financial model, so now I need another $10,000. If you go back to the investor and you say this, then the investor will understand, okay, you don't have any idea of running a business, so please give me all of my money back. So this is why when you're building a financial model, it is very, very important to put down all of your assumptions, put down a cost to all of the things that you foresee that you will incur. And in order to do that, you need to speak with a lot of people. So as a first time entrepreneur, it is very difficult. Even if you start a company today, it is very difficult for you to really understand many different things that you will incur charges, right? So this is why when you start to speak with people having prior experience running a business, having prior experience starting up a venture, they will be able to guide you. And these are the advisors and mentors who should be part of your team as well. So, okay, so when you complete this financial model, basically it will help you to answer how much capital you need, the burn rate, customer acquisition cost, when will you start to earn money, how much profit you will generate, how will you when will you break even, so that your revenue, your profits are able to fuel your business to run in a sustainable manner without you going out and always looking to raise your funds. So finally, there are some places where you can get help. So we have seen a lot of things, right? So you may be thinking, okay, this is too complex for me to understand, too complex for me to do. Where can I get help? Where can I get guidance? So this is where these incubators come into picture. So these incubators basically kinds of helps you, kinds of guides you to develop your prototypes, develop your business model, connects you with investors, connects you with potential customers, connects you with potential partners. They give you office space, they give you mentoring. So they give you a lot of many different things. So basically the incubators run programs. So basically you need to be selected you need to get selected into the program, then you get into the program, and then the program runs for 3 months or 6 months. And then in that 3 months or 6 months, they are going to make you build from 0 to 1 basically. So you are starting with 0, right? You don't have any experience running a business. You don't have any idea how to start a business. You are starting with 0. They will help you to make the first step. So they'll help you to make the first step. So from 0 to 1. So from 0 to 1 will at least give you that confidence to run the business, right? It's not like once you come out of the incubator program, you are so knowledgeable, you are so experienced that you can now build a successful business. It's not like that. But at least it will help you to take the first step towards it. You will learn a lot of things. Then you will navigate the world with the learnings that you have gathered. And then once you have completed an incubator program, then there are some accelerators. So basically, once you have completed an incubator program, you can get into an accelerator program. And this accelerator program is where these accelerators kind of help you to take the second, third, fourth, fifth, 10th, 100th step. From 0 to 1 is what incubators help you to do. Then from 1 to 100 is what the accelerators help you to do. So basically, they help you with all these different guidance, mentoring, education. Sometimes they even fund your startups as well. They help you to build a team. They help you to build your product. So lot of different things. So now coming back to the question, where can you get money from where can you get money from your for your startup. So there are many different ways that you can get money for building your startup. One is this incubators and accelerators, right? So these incubators and accelerators itself can give you some limited investment money. When you get selected into these programs, you will be able to get some investment money from them. Apart from that, you can also raise money from potential venture capital investors, angel investors as well. And then you can get a bank loan, which I don't recommend, because you need to repay the money back. Then you can use your own savings money to build your business, which I also don't recommend because you are losing all of your savings money. So try to get grants, government grants, which you don't need to repay at all. But of course, you need to show some traction, right? It's not like you get a government grant and run out of the country. So if you get a government grant, basically the government is asking you to build a startup so that the economy can flourish. You can employ a couple of people there. Government grants are one way. Then venture capital investors, angel investors, getting investment from investors are the other ways to get your get funding for your startup. So with this, I will end my session today. Hope you all have some knowledge on different terms and terminologies of the startup and business world. Any questions, I will be very happy to answer.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Arjun. I'm hearing again, but I think I get something as you repeated the same lecture. But yes, there's something gone over the last 1 year.
Yeah.
I think yes. I think I'm your student.
Thank you.
uh,
It's a very
uh,
big compliment.
yeah, I'm student. Yeah, I'm learning from you. But yes, I'm thinking seriously about this, right? And
Mm.
time to time I'm thinking about this, and I try to put the questions. Do you mind if you go through the question? I think
Yes,
some of
yes.
them already answer through your slides. You
Yeah,
might
yeah.
choose any which is suitable.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So how do we know this is the moment to start up? Is it the right time? How long the idea would last? So yeah, this is where the traction, the traction is very important. If we have obtained a good traction from customers based on the prototypes we have done, customers are interested, customers are willing to invest money into this idea, customers are willing to spend their time in co-developing this idea together. So if we are able to get that much of attraction, then it is a calling point. Then we can understand that, okay, this is the moment to really float a business out of it. But if the customers are saying, okay, it's good, maybe if you build it, maybe I will buy it, but I'm not sure whether I will buy it, then it means either the product is not very attractive to them, or maybe they are already using existing solutions, they don't want to switch over from the existing solutions. So these are the problems. uh, for electronics, it's very important, because for example, if we design a system, we call it as design in, design win. So if we come up with a semiconductor chip, basically we come up with a very similar chip, and we are going and saying to the customer, okay, can you use this chip? The customer is immediately going to say no, because they would have already completed all the testing validation with all the other parts, right? But if we come and say, okay, I'm going to give you this chip at 50% low power, 20% low cost, 50% higher efficiency, 50% higher speed, then the customer will, oh, okay, it's very interesting for me, it's very attractive, okay, give me this, I will use it in my system. So there needs to be some uniqueness for what we are trying to build. If we don't have any uniqueness, then it's not worth to build a company out of it. So if we understand, okay, we are the first person to come up with some idea like this, then
What
that's the moment.
about the timing in where we have the global perspective view, such as war in the world? this what they call sanctions, business war sanction between China and the US,
Yes,
and
yes,
probably a local government policy. Is that kind of his entry point to the business before we start up,
yes,
or maybe we want to defer some more in the time in future?
yes, yes.
How do we look at this thing? Is there any arts to get an entry point?
Yeah, so actually there are I couple of questions in your single question actually. So
Yeah.
so one important thing, considering all the global geopolitical tensions today, the one important thing that we really didn't cover in all of the lectures is to do a risk analysis. So the very first thing we should do is analysis, a framework called as PESTLE, PESTLE, political, economical, social, technological, legal, environmental.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
all the
interesting.
geopolitical tensions basically come into the bucket of the political, and so and today we are also seeing a lot of these regulatory changes also happening because companies want to reduce the power consumption, green energy, low carbon policy. So a lot of these regulations are also coming up in today's world. So the very first thing we should do is do this risk analysis, pestle analysis, political. What are the political implications? Economical implications. Today's world is very uncertain. So the everyone are speaking about recession. So the economical implications are the every market is slowing down. So that is one economical implications. Then of course societal, technological. Moore's law is kind of fundamentally hitting a hard limit. We are reaching the physical limitations of a transistor. Already we are speaking about 1.5 nanometer transistor, so it's already the physical limitation of an atom itself. So companies are now coming up with new innovations like 3D ICs, chiplets. So this is one way to kind of guide our thinking process towards innovation. Then the second couple of questions, okay, how can we know we can kind of enter into a market? Like how can we get a ticket to the market? So it all depends on proving our capability, right? Proving our capability. If we can't get a ticket into a WWE match if we are not a bodybuilder, right? So I can't go and ask for a ticket to fight with a muscle man. Yeah. So so we also need to prove our capability. Hello, is there any questions?
Hi, Miro, please, any questions? Okay, please
So
carry on. I
yeah,
think they didn't
we,
mute the mic.
yeah. So we need to prove our capability. So unless we prove our capability, we can't get this ticket to get into the market. So in order to prove this capability, we need to do R&D. So we need to indulge ourselves in R&D, coming up with highly competitive products, having some differentiations, some uniqueness for the products that we are looking to develop. We can't be always developing products that are similar looking to competitors, right? So we need to develop some competitive products. So these are some answers I could think of for your question.
Yeah. I think the other question, which is there are some domain. There are some domain which is actually, dominant by a few players, right? So that could be
Yeah.
some sort of monopoly games, and they are
Yes,
giants. It could be a risky. I think the one that
yes,
you answer already about the
yes,
risk
yes,
assessment, right? I think that
yes,
that
yes.
answer to this question.
So I think if we have these dominant players, I think we should kind of, there are two strategies again. One is head on head going and fighting with these dominant players. Okay, I have a I have a 300 Spartan army. I am going to now fight against the 1 million Persian soldiers. So that is one strategy. But in order for that strategy to work, of course, we need some uniqueness. We need some focus. We need to have some capability, right? That is one strategy. The another strategy is, okay, there may be some markets that these dominant players are not concentrating upon, because it is a small market that they think they don't need to spend their resources upon. So we may develop some products for that small market, and once we come up a little bit successful, these bigger companies can acquire us basically. So that is
Acquire.
one way of successfully exiting a startup, right? Because there are two ways to run a company. One is I start a company, I run it eventually for the next infinite years. That's what Amazon is doing, Microsoft is doing, Nvidia is doing, right? They started off with Amazon started off with some book services company, library company, something like that, and then they came up with all this e-commerce, and they are still growing. And then there are a lot of smaller companies that these big companies acquire as well. So it's not very much popular. We wouldn't even have heard of these smaller companies, but these bigger companies kind of acquire these smaller companies because they feel these products can complement our existing portfolio. These products can help us to diversify into new markets, and the combination of these two products can come up with some competitive offering that the existing competitors are not having. So these are some strategies as well. So as a small company, I would say it is better to not compete directly with these big giants, but create some complementary offerings that these big giants are not doing. Then finally capture the attention of these big giants so that they can acquire us, and we can successfully sell our business and go to Bali and enjoy our retirement life.
Yeah, yeah, that would be a rich exit.
Yes, yeah, like if we exit our company for 150 $200 million. Yeah. Yeah,
How about
that is one
lastly,
strategy.
I think to spin off, right, or maybe start up, right, it seems they have challenges, obstacles, and barrier, right? Of course,
Yeah.
there are chances, right? There are chances and potential in future,
Yes.
but it seems to not suitable for everybody. But who
Yes.
is actually be the right candidate for
Mm.
this ideal? And then
Yes.
learning this, right? If we are workers, right, we work for a company, what
Mm.
is it good enough that we learn this thing, this idea, and then how this idea contribute as a worker?
Yeah. So yeah, it's a good question. Like, let me address the second part. So as a employee, there is a term called as intrapreneur. Basically, we speak about entrepreneurship, right? Entrepreneurship is we do ourselves outside, but intrapreneurship is if we do the same thing inside a company. If we do the same thing inside a company, we own new product development. We define the product ourselves. We feel that this product can grow the company even better. We come up with this idea, then we build the business case, we present it to the management is interested in this proposal, they give us some resources to develop this product, we develop it, we launch it, it becomes successful. So this is one way of growing growing as an entrepreneur inside a company, which we call it as intrapreneurship. So that is one way. The second question is, so for who this is most suitable. In my opinion, this is more suitable for people in the young age because they have the bandwidth to take risk, right? Because before they start to have a family, they're still single, they can spend 1 or 2 years trying to build something. If it succeeds, good. If it fails, no issues, they have some learnings which is still valued in the companies, they can get into an employment. uh, it's more risky when people are in their 30s 40s because they have a family
Mine.
now. Yeah, unless they earn millions in their 20s. If they earn millions in their 20s, then probably they can take a risk in their 30s, but if not, it's a little bit risky. But of course, in my opinion, I also wanted to stress the importance of interdisciplinariness in this. Okay, we are all electronics engineering students assembled here, but in my opinion, we should go beyond that. We should go and speak with people from other engineering backgrounds as well, and then kind of think of different ways, because in today's world, just launching a product in one field is becoming very competitive. So we need some interdisciplinary products to compete with the existing companies. So I think it would be good if team of mixture of disciplines or domains are made, and then that will kind of lead to some interdisciplinary ideas. Then if the idea is good, then the university can further take it out and spin off, or maybe they can pair a undergrad student with a postgrad or a PhD level student. Then they can kind of work together to come up with some strong ideas as well. So these are some ideas that I can suggest.
Yeah, thank you very much. Right, thank you very
Yeah.
much. The younger the better. That
Yeah.
they will
Yes.
is able to sustain the suffer and also, of
Yes.
course, the fail. It
Yeah.
could be fail. Right, fail is
Yeah.
very normal, but the fail and with experience that we gain is something that we gain out of the fail. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that is the learning path.
Yeah.
Any question from the student or maybe some of the senior members in the group they're hiding behind?
Okay.
We have senior members. Any question we can pose it. If else, maybe we can take a group photos, right? Anybody questions? Should we take a group photo, please? Please switch on your camera, please. Kamera apa tu? Untuk mengambil gambar gambar. Silakan. Azim, saya nampak you. Right, Jufadi. Okay. Putri Zaria, I seen you. Wahid, yeah, I seen you. A number of you. Okay, let's take some picture. I just take random snap, Don't worry. Random snap. Okay. I can't change it anyway. Yeah. Okay, only a few of us, right? Switch on the camera. I can see only a few of us. The rest is didn't change it. Okay, thanks for your participant and thanks for the time, everybody. I hope, getting this knowledge is not a wasting of your time, just to get to know, right? You don't get this kind of knowledge, right, and learning when you are at work, right, and you're busy attending and with all the commitment, right? So this is probably this is the final chance that you learn from Dr. Arjun. Right? They are the fourth year now, getting into the job market later on. Okay,
Yes.
thank you, Dr. Arjun. Thank you
Yeah.
very
Thank
much
you,
for
sir.
sharing.
Yeah.
And we are looking forward to next
Yes.
sharing, which
Yes.
is the final sharing next week. Thank you,
Yes.
Doctor. See you.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir. Yeah. Thank you all.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Student, don't leave us. I won't share you the link. But please fill in the form. Fill in the form. I think you can fill in the form before you exit, right? This is the lectures. It's no longer. Why it's no longer? Let me try again. It is the form, right? Which is the 9.
Doctor, the form is no longer accepting anything.
Let me switch on. Yes, I switch on again. Please try again. Can you double A? Okay. My apologize for the wrong setting. Okay, please log in the attendance form and have a nice day, everybody. Enjoy your holiday and weekend. See you. Bye-bye. See you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Doktor.
Thank you, Hussein.
Thank you,
Jumpa
Doctor.
lagi.
Thank you, Doctor.
Okay, jumpa lagi. Okay, you may leave the meeting, online meet. Okay. Thank you. Subri.
Thank you. Terima kasih.
Terima kasih semua. Ya, terima kasih. Terima kasih Harun. Thanks for coming. Terima kasih. Siapa lagi?
Thank you, Doktor.
Terima kasih, terima kasih. Terima kasih, jumpa lagi.
Thank you, Doktor.
Thank you.